Hey everyone! Today we're diving into something really fascinating, nature's own first line of defense. We're going to peel back the layers and look at the science behind 4 incredibly powerful natural compounds that people have been using for centuries to fight off all sorts of common infections. You know that feeling, right? The seasons start to change and you can almost feel the winter bugs creeping in. On top of that, we're hearing all these headlines about antibiotic resistance. It can feel a little overwhelming. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? Is there a natural first line of defense we can turn to? And look, this isn't some small fringe problem. We're talking about huge numbers here. According to the CDC, in the US alone, more than 2 million people get sick from drug-resistant bacteria every single year. That's a staggering number, and it's exactly why researchers are so focused on finding other ways to fight off these harmful bugs.
But what if the answer isn't something new and high-tech? What if it's been right under our noses this whole time? For literally centuries, cultures all over the world have been tapping into nature's own medicine cabinet. So today, that's what we're gonna do. We're opening the door and looking at the hard science behind some of the most powerful natural defenders out there.
All right, so here's the game plan for today. We're gonna cover what I like to call the golden 4. First up, garlic, the powerhouse. Then we'll hit oregano oil, a real heavy hitter. After that, Manuka honey, the healer. And we'll wrap up with ginger, the inflammation fighter. Let's get into it. Okay, first up, garlic. And we're not just talking about keeping vampires away or making your pasta sauce taste amazing. This stuff is a true powerhouse. So what's the secret sauce in garlic? It's a compound called allicin. But here's the really cool part. Allicin isn't just sitting there inside a whole garlic clove. Nope, you have to create it through a chemical reaction. And once you do, once it's activated, it becomes this incredible antimicrobial warrior that can fight off bacteria, viruses, and even fungi. This is why how you prepare your garlic is everything. You can't just swallow a clove whole and hope for the best. It doesn't work that way. First, you've got to crush it or chop it. That breaks down the cell walls. Then, and this is the absolute most critical part, you have to wait. Just let it sit for about 10 minutes. That wait time is what allows oxygen to get in and activate the enzyme that creates all that powerful allicin. Oh, and one last thing, heat destroys it. So for the medicinal punch, you gotta have it raw. All right, moving on to our next contender, oregano oil. And if garlic is the powerhouse, you can think of this as the heavyweight champion. This stuff is seriously concentrated and powerful. The active ingredient doing all the work here is a phenol called carvacrol. And its method is, well, it's pretty brutal. It basically acts like a battering ram, punching holes right through the protective cell walls of bacteria. Once those walls are breached, the bacteria just break down and die. It's so effective that in lab studies, it's even been shown to work against some of those nasty drug-resistant superbugs. Okay, I need you to listen really closely here. This is a critical safety tip. When you're at the store, you'll see 2 different things, oregano essential oil and oil of oregano. They are absolutely not the same thing. You should never ever swallow pure essential oil. It's way too potent and can be dangerous. What you're looking for is oil of oregano, which is designed for internal use and comes pre-diluted in a safe carrier oil, like olive oil. Okay, let's talk about something a little sweeter. Our third natural defender is Manuka honey. And I want to be clear, this is not the stuff you squeeze out of a plastic bear onto your toast. This is a special medicinal-grade honey from New Zealand that's famous for some really unique healing properties. So you might know that most honey has some mild antibacterial effects, usually from a naturally occurring hydrogen peroxide. But Manuka is different. Its real power comes from a totally different compound called methylglyoxal, or MgO for short. Manuka honey has incredibly high levels of MgO, and that is what gives it such potent, unique antibacterial muscle. Now, trying to buy Manuka honey can be a little confusing with all the numbers on the jar, but here's what you need to know. Look for the UMF rating. That stands for Unique Manuka Factor. Think of it as a power level indicator. A UMF of 5+ is good for general, everyday wellness. But if you're actually feeling under the weather and want those therapeutic benefits, you really want to look for something that's 10+ or even higher. It's simple. The higher the UMF number, the more powerful the honey.
And that brings us to our 4th and final member of the Golden 4, ginger.
We all know it's amazing for settling an upset stomach, but its benefits go way beyond that, especially when we're talking about fighting off infections. The main bioactive compound in fresh ginger is something called gingerol. This is what gives it that spicy kick, but it's also a powerhouse antioxidant and anti-inflammatory. And here's the kicker. Studies suggest it's really good at stopping the growth of bacteria that are often linked to respiratory infections. It's no wonder a hot cup of ginger tea feels so good when you have a cold or a sore throat. And here's another pro tip. To really get those benefits, fresh is best. Seriously. Those little tea bags are convenient, sure, but they just don't pack the same punch as fresh ginger root. The best way to do it is to just slice up some raw ginger, pour hot water over it, but not boiling, you don't want to kill the good stuff, and just let it steep for a good 15 minutes. That's how you really pull out all that amazing gingerol. Okay, so we've broken down each of our golden 4. They're all pretty impressive on their own, right? But what if we put them all together? Well, you get an incredibly powerful immunity tonic that you can whip up in your own kitchen. All right, grab a pen because you're going to want to write this down. This is your master tonic recipe. The moment you feel that first little tickle in your throat, here's what you do. Crush 1 clove of garlic, and remember, wait that crucial 10 minutes. Then mix it with a teaspoon of that good, high UMF Manuka honey, add a thin slice of fresh ginger, and a good squeeze of fresh lemon juice. Stir it up and swallow it down immediately. Think of it as sending in the special forces for your immune system, right when the first alarm sounds. Okay, now before we wrap up, we need to have a serious talk about safety. Just because something is natural doesn't mean it's automatically safe for everyone in every situation. These are powerful compounds, and we have to treat them with respect. It is so important to be aware of this stuff. For example, both garlic and ginger can act as blood thinners. So if you're already on a medication like warfarin or even just a daily aspirin, you absolutely have to be careful. Oregano oil is strictly for short-term use, and it's a definite no-go if you're pregnant. The bottom line is that high doses of anything can have side effects and interact with medications you might be taking. And let me be crystal clear about one more thing. What we've talked about today is for prevention and for helping your body deal with minor early-stage stuff. This is not a replacement for a doctor. If you've got a high fever, you're having trouble breathing, or things are just getting worse instead of better, you need to stop and see a medical professional, period. And that leads us to our final and, honestly, our most important takeaway. The information in this explainer is purely for educational purposes. We're all different, and your personal health situation is unique to you. So it is absolutely essential that you talk to a qualified healthcare professional before you start any new supplements or make any big changes to your routine.
Thank you for being here with me today. Remember, small choices create big changes. Keep nourishing your health with love and consistency. See you in the next Vital Elixir video.